Where do coroutines actually run? For example, UI updates must run on the main thread. Network calls should run in the background. Heavy calculations need CPU threads. Kotlin uses dispatchers to decide which thread a coroutine runs on. Let's talk about dispatchers in Kotlin. What is a dispatcher? Dispatcher is part of the coroutine context that controls the thread used for execution. For example, launch dispatcher.io, which stands for input output, and print running on IO thread. It tells the coroutine where to run which thread pool. The first one in dispatchers.main. It is used for UI updates, user interactions. For example, launch dispatcher.main and print update the UI here. Notes: runs on the main thread, shouldn't do heavy work. Dispatchers.io used for network requests, database operations, or file reading or writing. For example, launch dispatcher.io val data equal fetch from network. Optimized for blocking IO tasks and uses a shared thread pool. Dispatchers.default. It is used for CPU intensive tasks, calculations, data processing. For example, launch dispatchers.default val result equal heavy calculation. Uses threads based on CPU cores and best for computational work. Switching between dispatchers. You can switch threads using with context. For example, fun main equal run blocking and val result equal with context and pass the dispatcher.io then fetch data. Here with context dispatcher.main and print the result. Here move between threads safely. The best practices: use the main in UI only and use IO in network or database operations, and use the default for heavy calculations. Also, avoid running heavy work on main thread. Unnecessary dispatcher switching. Dispatchers control where your coroutines run. They help developers to separate UI and background work, improve performance, avoid UI freezing, build responsive applications. Thanks for watching and see you next video.